Hi, welcome back to my High Plains Life. I'm Danielle, your host, and that flea bag right there scratching herself is Willow, my co-host. Willow says we're ready to start the podcast. So I'd like to welcome all new viewers and returning viewers back. Yes. It's great being here again and talking to you guys. It's been a few weeks, busy weeks, good weeks, and I'm excited to share that with you, to tell you all about it. So most of that will happen in off topic, but for now, let's start with on the needles. I've done a lot of knitting because it's been a while. So with on the needles, I do have an FO. It's the Manthing Hat that I made for Mr. High Plains Life in Malabrigo Rios in the Pearl 10 colorway. My hubby calls it purple, even though I think it's a dark gray. This qualified for my pigskin party. Okay, it has a purple tinge to it. It's still manly. It's qualified for my pigskin party end zone thread, so I gave myself the points for that. I do not have the hat to show you because it's on his head. I will try to insert a picture of my finished object here. I did post it on Instagram, so that was in my Bee Splat bag by Mrs. Brown's Bags. So those of you who follow me on Instagram were able to see it. It's very straightforward, very easy. A simple skull cap with some texture to it so that it wasn't completely boring. Whipped it off the needles in a couple days. And my nieces both did a couple stitches on it because they wanted to knit like Aunt Danny. So it's a family project. So all of us kind of participated in finishing it. My whips, I have several. And as I stated last episode, I started Nanny Swimo early, National Knit a Sweater in a Month early, which is November, and I started in October. I'm not going to get done in November either. So, Nanny Swimos. Let's start with my Kiyama sweater that everybody helped me find the pattern for. It was lovely. So this is what it's going to look like. Ignore the glare. And this is what it looks like now. I'm in the middle of a row because that's where my yarn ran out. So it's kind of hard to show you. But this is the top of the neck. And I'm about halfway down the body. As you can see. And that's where my handspun ran out. And the color is blown out. That's pretty good. I love this. I love my handspun. I love the pattern. It was going along swimmingly until I ran out of yarn. And I figure I used about 1,200, 400 yards. And I spun 1.5 pounds. Obviously, I should have done 2. So I went to go purchase some more fiber. It was Ashford Fibers, merino silk blend in the sage colorway. It's Ashford. I figured, how hard can it be to find? This time I did do a Google search, and I looked on webs. I looked in Paradise Fibers, the Woolery. I went to Ashford Fibers New Zealand website themselves. I looked everywhere online. Ashford Fibers had other colorways in that blend that I could find, but not the sage. So because I couldn't find it in that, I ended up going with Ashland Bay Merino Roving and Sage. It's a different blend. It's 100% merino. It's a similar colorway. I think it's the same colorway, at least online, on screen. It looks the same. But again, I'll have to wait till I can see it in person. And I got 12 ounces, hoping that that will be enough to finish it up. I looked on Ravelry, not just for D-stash, but just to see if anybody had it in their stash period, the correct fiber blend, and couldn't find anybody. That doesn't mean it's not out there. It just means people haven't posted it as such. I'm really hoping that it's not that different, and that if it is, that it blends in. I'm glad I did this anyway. I'm not going to frog it. I love it. If the bottom half ends up being slightly different, then so be it, and I'll call it a design feature. Besides, the actual spinning of it is going to be a chore, because this is some of my first hand spun. It's all over the place. I spin a lot thinner and more consistently now, and I'm going to have to try and replicate some of my beginning spinning. It's thicker, the twist isn't even. It's beginning spinning, but I do love this sweater. It's going to be so warm and cozy, and this is going to be the thing that I throw on in the house when I'm feeling chilly. You know, this is going to be it. I'm loving it. And I really hope the fiber matches enough, or matches close enough. That was one sweater. I was crazy enough to start two. Neither's getting finished. This is my Transverse Cardigan by Ann Weaver. And it's out of Cascade Echo wool. And this is what I have done so far. It looks odd. Yay, my skein of yarn. The color, let's see if we can get this color right. It's more, no. It's more teal than the dark blue it's showing up as. This is my sleeve. Yes, so this is my sleeve that I was about here last time. I modified the pattern to do this sleeve in the round. I finished the sleeve in the round with the exception of like right here, which I'll have to seam up the garter stitch. Finished my finished my arm, sleeve, and then cast on stitches for the front and back sections. So here's my front, here's my back. And this will go about 9 inches. It's curled up because it's stockinette, so I've got about 5.5 inches done. I'll go till about 9 inches, and then I'll split for the neckline, the shoulder and neck. This is very interesting construction. I'm not giving anything away, I think, if I show this. It's knit from the right sleeve across the body to the left. And I don't think I'm giving anything away by showing the diagram. And I've highlighted my measurements. So that's how the construction of it goes. So I am on the right front right here. This is also, no, this is not a free pattern. This is paid for pattern through Interweave by Ann Weaver. And I'm in the slogging part now, kind of the black hole of knitting. I knit and knit and knit across and purl back and knit across and purl back. And I check my length, and I've gone nowhere. I've added nothing to it, and I'm like, how can that be? And then I'll knit and purl and knit and purl, and oh, I've added 1/4 of an inch. Yay! So I'm kind of, excuse me, in that slogging part of it right now. But I tell myself, I'm getting there. This is what I knit on when I'm sitting in front of the TV watching a podcast or something. Both my sweaters were started during football season, so they do qualify for the DCS pigskin party. If I get them finished in time, which I'm hoping to. I should. I'm trying so hard not to cast anything else on because I really, really, really want to finish a sweater. I've made tops. I obviously just finished my Linum tee, but they were all like t-shirt style tops. I don't know what my dog sees. She's crazy. Sunbeam. Sorry. So none of them were true sweaters. You know, like 3/4 full length sleeves, heavier yarn, you know, full construction sweaters. So I'm very excited. These will be my first sweaters. And I want to get them done. So that is my transverse cardigan. Again, I am knitting that out of Cascade Echo Plus on size 8 needles. Another whip I have is my blueberry waffle socks out of Opal. I am not showing them to you. I am going to frog out the heel because I don't like the way it fits. I've been working my way down the foot and I keep trying it on. And I've gotten most of the foot finished. And I think, well, once I get the toe done, it'll stretch it out. You know, like the negative V's will stretch it out and it'll make the heel fit better. I hate the heel that is in the blueberry waffle sock pattern. And that's the one I did because I haven't done a lot of heels. And my justification to myself is do the heel in every pattern. That way I try a bunch of different heels, see which one I like best, and then I can continue using that heel style. I hate this heel, so I'm ripping it out, and I'm going to use a different heel. I think I'm going to do the Spacious OMG heel, and then continue on the foot again. So bye-bye, blueberry waffle socks. That's it for my knitting. What have I been stocking? Hermione Hart's Ron hat. For my niece Enya, who loves Harry Potter, I want to knit her a hat. She's going to college in Flagstaff now, and she's from California, so not so used to the snow, and I wanted to send her something that would remind her her family's thinking of her at college and wishing her luck and keeping her warm. So I did a Ravelry search for free hat patterns. I've already made the barley hat. I've already made the swirl hat. I've made a few others. And I saw the Hermione Hearts-Ron hat, and I thought, perfect, she loves Harry Potter. So I went ahead and queued it. I actually went ahead and ordered the yarn for it. She wanted a lavender hat, so I ordered lavender yarn from Paradise Fibers. And unfortunately, I actually got the worsted versus the DK. The pattern calls for a sport DK yarn. So I will just have to adjust for my gauge with the worsted yarn. I ordered Collage Happiness worsted yarn in the lavenders color. And I think it's a beautiful purple, and I hope she really likes it. So that was one of my acquisitions. Some of my other acquisitions include some batiks for my Quilt Guild strip swap. And they're packed away. And also some neutrals for my hexie backgrounds. Because, aren't these beautiful? Because I found I had a lot of dark colors and not a lot of neutrals or tans. So, purchased those. And that was my October purchase. And my November purchase. Already done. As for spinning projects, none. I'm waiting for that Ashland Bay Merino Roving and Sage to come in. And then I'm going to be in front of my wheel, spinning that puppy up so that I can start knitting my Kiyama sweater again. Okay, so that's it for on the needle. As far as under the needle, I am working on the binding for my double wedding ring quilt table runner. That's a mouthful. The edge is curved, so my binding had to be cut on the bias, which means at a 45-degree angle to the grain. This is my table runner. I'm not sure if you can get it all. It's made with reproduction fabrics. Again, I love Civil War prints. So that color's more like it. So my binding is cut on the bias. I've done about a third of it. Got a third of the binding. I machine sewed it to the front and I'm hand stitching it to the back. So I figured this is a table runner. This is a small enough project for me to hand stitch the binding. So working on that. That's another one of my evening in front of the TV projects. And that's it as far as quilting goes. So under the needle went really quick. I have not started any other projects because I am, again, hoping to finish up some quilting projects that I currently have. I have some quilt tops that I need to put borders on, that I need to square up, put borders on, and get quilted. So, wish me luck. I have nothing for in the garden or in the bee yard. It's that time of year where everything slows down or stops. I do have a lot for off topic. What I have been watching recently is the Grocery Girls. They're back. They were on a little break while Tracy was on vacation, and I've missed them. So I'm really glad everybody's home safe and they're recording again. So, because frankly, they're a hoot. Jody just says, it's Jody and Tracy, a pair of sisters, and Jody says whatever she wants, whatever she feels like. It's absolutely hilarious. It's family friendly, but just note that she does use words, not swear words, but yeah. She talked about her mammogram. It was hilarious. So I've missed them. I'm really glad they're back. So that's what I've been watching. I've been waiting on getting a new roof installed. In the end of July, Colorado Springs had a really bad hailstorm. And half the houses in town are getting new roofs installed. A lot of people lost windows. We lost the skylight in our shed. So basically, we were supposed to be done in October. They got too busy, bumped us off the list. We're back on the list. We actually had materials delivered yesterday, and then it snowed. So we have shingles sitting on the roof, waiting for the roofing crew to come. And snow is getting in the way. We were in the high 70s to actually 80 degrees Fahrenheit this last week, and then it snowed yesterday. I love Colorado. The weather is crazy, but I'm actually happy that we got our first little snow of the year because it wasn't feeling like fall. Don't get me wrong, I love 75, 78 degree days, but it's the middle of November, folks. It's supposed to be winter or fall, so get with it, Mother Nature. The ski slopes need to open. They need some snow. Thanksgiving is next week. I can't believe it's so soon. But Thanksgiving comes up, that means Christmas is next, and I have to plan if I'm going to send out Christmas cards or not, and if I use store-bought cards or if I hand make them. So that's something that I like to start around Thanksgiving time if I'm going to hand make them. So another decision to make in the next week or so, and that'll have a lot to do with how I feel. Willow is making strange noises. So I mentioned earlier that the past couple weeks were really busy for me, and they were good. We visited Phoenix again to spend time with the family. Had a great time. We went to watch the nieces while my sister and brother-in-law had an adult weekend for a wedding. And we survived. The girls survived, so everything went okay. It was actually really good. I think it helps with my depression, not just to see my nieces and my sister and spend time with them, but being placed into their schedule. You know, the girls are on not a strict schedule, but a definite schedule, you know, meals, bath time, brushing teeth, bedtime, you know, playtime, quiet time. There's a pretty good flow to the schedule in the house. And that kept me going. And I know I do better with the schedule. I know that. And that is one of my therapy goals, actually, is to establish and keep my own schedule with tasks that I want to accomplish. And right now, that basically is getting up, Okay, so I'm going to share with you my therapy goals of committing to a schedule. Getting up, completing my personal hygiene. Willow, what are you doing? Oh, crazy dog. Sorry. Completing my personal hygiene, showering, brushing my teeth, etc. Whatever. I normally don't wear makeup. You guys are special. I put on makeup for the podcast. Excuse me. And completing a task that I don't like to do, whether that is dusting, vacuuming, doing the dishes, doing laundry, something. Okay, it has something to do with house cleaning. I don't think anybody enjoys cleaning house. If they do, no judgment, but you're a little weird. And then rewarding myself with something that I enjoy doing, like quilting, knitting, spinning, podcasting, and following a schedule of meals, because sometimes I just am so lethargic, I forget to eat or don't feel like eating. And that isn't good for my health either, because then my body, everybody knows if you skip meals, your body thinks you're starving, shuts down, and saves fat. Doesn't help with losing weight. And other than sticking to meals, just walking the dog, getting out and doing some physical activity. And also the dog needs walked. So all these activities I'm trying to incorporate into a routine schedule so that I can make it habit, so that even on days when I am having a bad day, and by bad day I mean my depression is striking harder than normal, that the habit of my schedule will help me overcome my lethargy and depression and continue being a productive day. So that's my therapy goals right now. I am a hit or miss on some days. So that's all I have today for Off Topic. And I'd love to hear your comments, remarks. Don't forget we have a Ravelry group under High Plains Life podcast. Come join us and let's start a conversation. You can find me as Danny Girl CO on Instagram, Periscope, and Ravelry. And show notes can be found at www.myhighplainslife.blogspot.com. Again, thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. Bye.